Have you ever wondered how humans can survive, even thrive, in the coldest regions of the planet? Welcome to Finland, where the harsh, natural laws completely contradict everything you once knew. This is a country where its map must be continuously redrawn, not because of wars or treaties, but because the very land beneath your feet is constantly rising from the ocean. You heard it right. Since the last glaciers of the Ice Age melted, the land in the Kvarken archipelago has risen by more than 280 meters. From above, Finland appears like a fairy tale world, with over 188,000 lakes lying peacefully beneath the ice, and pristine forests covering 75% of its area. However, don't let that picturesque beauty deceive you. When you venture deep into the Lapland region, winter can drop to -40 degrees Celsius, and the coldest, most terrifying challenge does not only come from the frost, but from the phenomenon of almost 51 consecutive days without the sun shining. Imagine, how would your mind cope when you have to find a way to illuminate your daily life amidst a night that envelops everything for nearly 2 months? Today, let's step into the lives of the Finnish people, a place with beautiful women, charming charisma, and always rosy skin. Watch until the end of the video, because there are strange methods that keep them full of vitality, which you won't find anywhere else. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you find these topics interesting. We will continue to explore such topics. But before meeting those beautiful women, there is an important thing you need to know that seems to have shaped their demeanor and remarkable adaptability. I am referring to the parenting habits of Finnish mothers. Strolling through the streets of Finland in the middle of winter, this is not an uncommon sight. Baby strollers in the snow, with babies sleeping soundly inside. The outdoor temperature at this time can be -10, even reaching -15 degrees Celsius, a temperature sufficient to freeze a glass of water in just a few short minutes. But in Finland, this is a completely normal sight. Nordic mothers have a very different way of raising their children. Instead of keeping their children warm in closed rooms with heaters, they choose to let them be exposed to the most original aspects of nature. They believe that the pure, sterile, and biting cold air of winter is the most valuable natural remedy. It helps purify the tiny lungs, brings a more restful sleep, and nurtures a truly strong immune system. That's also why the people here grow up with an incredibly strong vitality, especially the women. And that's not all. The title of this video is truly not an exaggeration. If you ever have the chance to meet Finnish women, you will easily be captivated by their radiant, natural, and vibrant beauty. Shiny golden hair, deep blue eyes like calm lake surfaces, and skin that always has a rosy glow. A characteristic vitality that people often refer to as Nordic glow. But how do they maintain that youthful glow in a place where temperatures can drop to -30 degrees Celsius? While the world outside provides moisture with creams, in Finland, that seems almost impossible, because at deep sub-zero temperatures, the water in cosmetics will freeze almost immediately on your face and dry out your skin. Instead of relying on cosmetics, their secret lies in the Arctic raspberry. This tiny fruit is so miraculous that it can thrive brilliantly right under the layer of ice and snow, containing a huge amount of antioxidants, helping them maintain their beauty. However, external beauty is only half the story. The charisma that creates their intense allure stems from a deeply ingrained life philosophy called sisu. Sisu has no equivalent in English or Vietnamese. It is resilience, a steadfast inner strength, and the will to rise above all adversities. You might see a Finnish woman soft and graceful, but they are also the ones who can calmly chop wood, skillfully drive snowmobiles, and peacefully enjoy an independent life amidst the tranquil taiga forests. What impresses you the most about Finnish women? The Nordic glow beauty or their inner strength? Please share with me in the comments to spread this beauty. And no matter what it is, we cannot deny the strong allure of Finnish girls. And if you want to get to know them, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and comment number 8. I will show you 3 ways you can apply right away. And you will be even more surprised when you learn how they awaken every cell in the body. A strange method, hard to find anywhere else. That is Avanto, the ice swimming ritual. Walking barefoot on the white snow and unhesitatingly plunging straight into the icy water in the frozen lake. The interesting thing is that they don't just jump into that icy layer naturally. This process begins in a red-hot sauna, where the temperature can reach 80, even 100 degrees Celsius, when the body is sweating profusely, radiating heat most intensely. From 80 degrees Celsius, dropping to approximately 0 degrees Celsius in just a few seconds. This is an extreme temperature difference, strong enough to cause a glass cup to shatter immediately if you pour cold water into it while it contains boiling water. This sudden temperature change helps the circulatory system, releasing a huge amount of endorphins. To outsiders, it might be a harsh challenge, but for them, it is a source of youthfulness and rejuvenating energy. It washes away stress, rejuvenates energy from deep within, and is the most natural secret to keep the skin always firm and rosy. It's strange how an experience that seems to freeze the body is actually the way to make people feel the most alive. And what about you? Would you like to try the Avanto experience once? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. And if these intriguing paradoxes are captivating you, subscribing to the channel would be a wonderful way for us to continue this journey together. Those women emerged from the icy water with a vibrant aura and radiant smiles. However, if you approach them expecting lively conversations and excited sharing about their recent experience, you will encounter another cultural shock. In this land, the most intense emotions are hidden behind an unbelievable silence, where small talk are considered the most superfluous sounds in the world. In most countries, silence is often seen as awkward. It is a gap that needs to be filled with small talk or a few inquiries. But in Finland, everything happens in the opposite direction. The people here do not feel the need to say something just to avoid silence. For them, shallow small talk is merely superfluous noise that disrupts the peace. You might find 2 friends sitting next to each other for hours by a frozen lake, sipping hot coffee and hardly saying much. The strange thing is that no one feels uncomfortable. On the contrary, that is often seen as a sign of trust. At first glance, it may seem distant, but in reality, it is a very characteristic way of showing respect among the Finnish. They respect personal space just as they respect the forests, the lakes, and the tranquility of the nature around them. Perhaps that is why many Finnish women possess a very unique demeanor. They don't try to be the center of every conversation. No need to talk too much to attract attention. Their confidence comes from a sense of peace with themselves. If it were you, would you prefer a society always filled with laughter and chatter? Or a place where silence is also considered a language? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. And if these cultural differences are making you curious, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to continue joining us. Because the interesting thing is that Finns do not just see silence as a part of their character. They have turned it into a ritual intertwined with daily life for hundreds of years. A place where all distances seem to vanish, all worries left outside the door, and that place is called Sauna. This country has about 5.6 million people, but it possesses more than 3 million saunas. That means the number of saunas here is even greater than the total number of cars on the roads. If all the people in Finland decided to go to the sauna at the same time, there would still be extra space. But the most shocking truth does not lie in those dry numbers. Can you believe it? Not too long ago, these red-hot sauna rooms were the places where Northern European mothers chose to give birth. Amidst the harsh cold, when the ground is buried under thick layers of snow and the chill seeps into every fiber of wood, the sauna is the warmest, cleanest, and safest place to welcome the first cries of a new life. Nowadays, The heat from those rooms not only purifies the body, but also melts away all social barriers. In Finland, you can find saunas every place, from inside the majestic Parliament building to the cabins on the giant Ferris wheel. When you step through that door, all labels of titles are left outside. A powerful director is as genuine and equal as a humble carpenter. Without expensive suits or sparkling jewelry to show off, people treat each other with the utmost authenticity. If you had the opportunity to experience it, would you be willing to step into a room heated to nearly 100 degrees Celsius to sit and chat with complete strangers? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Because the interesting thing is that after stepping out of the sauna, Finns usually do not seek out luxurious restaurants or noisy parties. They turn to something much simpler. Finnish cuisine is a unique experience that will surprise you in many ways. Instead of soft, fluffy, and easily perishable white bread, the Finns created rye bread. It is sturdy, dark-colored, and has such a dense nutritional content that you can store it in the cold, desolate snow caves for months, and it will still retain its full flavor. When the cold outside seems to want to freeze your veins, a bowl of rich, steaming lohikito salmon soup is the fire that lights you from within. The abundant omega-3 from the deep sea is not just food. It is a wonderful biological armor that helps them maintain body temperature and protect their radiant skin despite the wind and frost. However, the craziest twist on the Finnish dining table is not in the fish or the bread. The real challenge for your taste buds lies in a pitch-black candy called salmiakki. Forget about sweet, sugar-coated candies. Salmiakki is salty licorice candy. As soon as it enters the mouth, a wave of salty bitterness rushes straight up the nose, mingled with a slight bitterness and an incredibly challenging pungent aroma. Most distant tourists grimace and spit it out within the first second. Yet, for the locals here, that salty, bitter, and prickly taste is a soft addiction, a flavor of childhood deeply embedded in every cell. Isn't it strange? Why does a nation crave the bitter taste instead of the pleasant sweetness? Perhaps because it reflects their very philosophy of life, not denying adversity, but embracing it and transforming the harshness in the most natural way. In your country, is there any strange dish that terrifies outsiders but fascinates the locals? Please tell me in the comments. And if you are fascinated by how these people harmonize with nature, a subscription from you will be an invaluable gift for us to continue this journey. The ruggedness in their cuisine helps their bodies survive, but to keep their minds bright when the sun sets from. At 2 p.m., Finns drink coffee daily as an indispensable part of their routine. Can you believe it? This country is surpassing both Italy and the United States to hold the world record for coffee consumption. You might think of Italy with its famous espresso cups, or the United States with its coffee culture present on every street corner. But the truth lies in a place few would expect. Finland is the country that regularly ranks first in the world for per capita coffee consumption. On average, each person here consumes about 12 kilograms of coffee per year, equivalent to thousands of cups of coffee over a lifetime. At first glance, that might seem hard to understand. But when living in a land where, in winter, the sun sometimes sets around 2 p.m. and darkness quickly envelops the snowy forests, you will begin to understand why this drink has become so important. However, this is another cultural shock. Finns do not drink coffee the way many people think. You rarely see them holding a large paper cup and rushing to work. It's rare to see someone driving while drinking coffee. And even rarer are the competitions to see who can stay more alert thanks to caffeine. For the Finns, coffee is not merely fuel, it is a pause. A moment to slow down amidst the rhythm of everyday life. They have a tradition called kahvitauko, roughly translated as coffee break. This is not just a time to drink a hot cup of coffee, but also an opportunity to sit down, watch the snow fall outside the window, and give yourself a few moments of quiet. How long has it been since you treated yourself to a real moment of silence, just to sit down and sip a warm drink without being bothered by the constant notifications on your phone? Please share your answer in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to continue with me. Because the astonishing thing is that despite living in the cold, prolonged darkness and isolation of the northern winter, the Finnish have been ranked among the happiest countries in the world for many consecutive years. So, where does the true secret of that happiness lie? How can a nation living through long winters, days when the sun almost disappears from the horizon, frozen lakes, and temperatures that can drop well below -10s of degrees Celsius, be ranked among the happiest countries in the world for many consecutive years? It sounds like a paradox. But perhaps it is precisely here that we begin to understand who the Finns really are. According to the United Nations World Happiness Reports, Finland has consistently ranked at the top of the global rankings for many years. Interestingly, happiness in the Finnish understanding is very different from what many people envision. Instead of pursuing intense but fleeting joys, the Finns build a source of happiness based on deep satisfaction. Imagine a life where you never have to stay up all night worrying about your children's tuition fees. Because education here is completely free and respects personal development, you don't have to fear huge medical bills because the healthcare system is always ready to support you. Even the bond between humans and nature is so pure that you can step into any vast forest, pick a handful of berries from under a pine tree, and casually enjoy them immediately without a hint of concern about chemicals. When the burdens of basic survival, which are suffocating the minds and draining the strength of billions of people out there, are completely lifted, humanity will naturally find absolute peace. What percentage of the stress in your life currently comes from worries about basic needs? If you wake up tomorrow and all that pressure disappears, how peaceful will your mind be? But wait, to maintain a safe and stable society, the Finnish have collectively accepted a trade-off. They entered a rhythm of life that might astonish those accustomed to glamour and chaos. But it was the final stepping stone to shedding all masks and reaching authenticity. Stepping into Finland, you will quickly realize that life here operates at a very different pace. That's right. The people here accept relatively high taxes. They also get used to the long winters, the days when the sun only appears for a moment before disappearing beyond the horizon, and the silences that many first-time visitors often find quite unusual. While in many countries, staying late is celebrated as a measure of dedication, in Finland, you will encounter a spectacular twist. What do you think about being able to leisurely turn off your computer and leave the office at exactly 4 p.m. without facing any scrutinizing looks or invisible pressure from your superiors? Their lives are not bound to skyscrapers or exhausting reports. When the workday ends, their world retreats to the vast pine forests, the crystal-clear frozen lakes, and quality time entirely devoted to themselves. Here, you are allowed to shed all peer pressure, without needing to strive to become a perfect version in the eyes of others. You just need to be yourself, in the most complete and authentic way. If given the opportunity, would you be willing to leave behind the hustle and bustle, the splendor of the city, in exchange for a slow, balanced, and tranquil life like this? Please leave your honest thoughts in the comments section. And if you enjoy perspectives like this, a subscription from you would be a great joy for us to continue our journey. The most radiant beauty of Finland lies not only in the northern lights stretching across the sky, but also in the resilient spirit of its people. They do not flee from winter, but choose to harmonize with nature. They light candles to warm the darkness and find strength amidst the vast nature. Happiness here, after all, is the freedom of the soul when knowing that one always has enough resilience to shine in any circumstance. Happiness here, after all, is the freedom of the soul when knowing that one always has enough resilience to shine in any circumstance. What impresses you the most about Finland? What impressed you the most about Finland? Please share with me in the comments. All the content, stories, and knowledge shared in this video are solely intended to provide information, explore culture, educate, and entertain. The customs mentioned in the video are part of the indigenous Nordic culture. These methods are carried out based on specific physical conditions, long-term training, and suitable environmental conditions. The data, records, or cultural trends are compiled from reputable sources at the time of production and may change over time. Thank you for watching and see you in the next videos.